LLM, large language model, from Meta. And then third group could not use AI, so instead they use Google search. And basically at the end, ChatGPT group solved the problem the fastest. As you can see, it's a very strong model. And then followed by the Code Llama group, and then Google search group. And then the students were given a similar question, but not exactly the same, a similar question to solve without any tool, without Google search, without any AI tool. And then the results were the opposite, right? Now, the ChatGPT group remembered nothing because they got the answer fastest, but then they couldn't use that knowledge for another question. And then half of the group, Code Llama group, passed, and they solved the problem. And then everyone in the Google search group, they passed or they solved this problem. So similar but different problem. So what's the lesson? What do you think? What's the lesson? Yes?
Just have a copy and paste, calculation of the content, and make sure to practice it and apply it to your assignments, so that way you have very good or basic understanding of it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yes?
AI or any form of search engine should be used to aid in your study, not replace it.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, they both are really great answers. Yeah, let's give a round of applause. Yes. So that's the summary. Basically, that's what I was going to say. Basically, the fastest way to get an answer is not always the best way to learn, right? And struggling with this problem and doing the homework yourself will be actually helpful to learn and also develop your critical thinking skills. So when your program doesn't work, it may be a chance to actually learn and something new you practice. So in general, you may use AI tools for your reference in the course. Okay, so using AI is not prohibited in this class. You can use it. However, you cannot copy and paste from AI or any other source because that is for your benefit, for your learning, right? And also AI generated answers can also contain errors. So I encourage you to ask or use AI to ask questions and some explanations and also create practice problems, but you still need to build a strong foundation in programming to become an effective software engineer or computer professional. So again, we mentioned that AI should help you to learn, right? Not the work for you, right? So that is the idea. So it's not okay to ask AI to write a program or comment for you and then copy and paste. So the keyword here is that copy and paste. As long as you can just understand the logic and then writing yourself, no problem. Okay? Again, you can ask AI to generate concepts, algorithms, and generate practice questions. So you can think that AI is another tutor that you can use, right? You have many tutors, resources available in this course, but you have extra helper. And I recommend you to use AI Course Companion. That I tried to create some videos. If can, I will try to use more AI Course Companion. I feel like they improved their features, so it can be useful for you. So use that. And also Gemini Notebook. You can also use that for generating questions and preparing exams. So what you will learn in this course, you're gonna better at solving problems, and then you're gonna learn how to break a large program into smaller and useful functions and modules. And you will also learn how to write defensive code that checks for errors. And you're going to build solid foundation in data structures and algorithms. So we have a required textbook. So the textbook is C Programming, a Modern Introduction, 2nd edition. And then this is also very important, another resource, yes?
Can I take a picture of the previous slide.
Yeah, so the slides available on Canvas, but you can just take a photo as well. So I just want to mention one more thing about peer leading. So this is so important, right? Because it will be very helpful, and we're going to start from 4 p.m. today, right? And the peer leader already made an announcement yesterday, so you can go back to your email and about this peer leading sessions. Basically, you can ask questions, and they will going to help you. I think for this time, he will try to install some applications that we were going to use in class. So peer leading sessions are very helpful for review, and especially, I know many of you know already from COP 2510, the exams, right? Before exams, they give you review questions, and you can also answer. So really, really important right before exam, but don't wait until before exam. Attend it, and then there's 3 extra credits you can earn by attending them. So the peer leaders will take attendance, and they have their separate policy, so you can ask them. I think he will go over that today. Lucas, first one is Lucas. So Lucas, and then Harriet is the other person. Harriet will be available from week 2, but Lucas will start from today. Okay, so you can find that information on Canvas. Okay, and then basically again, do not copy or do not share your code with the other students, because sometimes with the other student may just submit as your own code. And if 2 students are same, hi Jawad. Yeah, so Jawad is there, so he will be here on Tuesdays. So you can just come here, you can just introduce yourself, because we still have time, so but Jawad. Again, the projects, you write your own code, and then you can discuss ideas and concepts with other students in the class, or any other resources available, like AI tools, all available. But only thing is, do not copy and paste. That's the only thing that you cannot do. And so, to actually check the code similarity, I'm going to use Grayscope for grading your programs. Okay, so I'm going to actually go to Grayscope. Let's see. Yeah, I will just show you that, how I can check code similarity between students. So this is our Canvas page. And then let's go to Grayscope. So I have menu right here, Grayscope. So that I should go to this one. I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, I just need to remember that. Sorry about. Okay. So from that Grayscope, right? We have the website. We have Grayscope menu, and then I think most of you all familiar with Grayscope. Anybody haven't used Grayscope? Oh, it's first time? Oh, so is there some people that have not used Grayscope yet?
I think it's Grayscope.
So it will take some time, but after the first project, you're gonna get used to it. So we're gonna use Grayscope for all the assignments, also exams. When we give you exams back, you're gonna use Grayscope. Yes?
I wanted to ask, when it comes to like projects and other assignments or the tests, are we gonna use a specific coding language, or are we gonna use a bit of everything?
Yes. So the coding language will be only C in this Is that the question you're asking?
Which one are we gonna see? Which one are we gonna use? Java, Python?
Yeah, C programming language.
C programming.
Yeah, C programming language. Yeah. So that's why this course is, the textbook is also C programming language, so everything will be C. Yeah. Previously you did that Python, right? But this course will be C.
I did Java.
Oh, you did Java. Oh, I see. Are you transfer student? Yeah. That's okay. Because basically, if you are familiar with Java, maybe it's even easier to change into C. So I think you should be okay.
To be fair, I still struggle with Java.
Right, yes. So programming is that you need that curve, learning curve. Yeah. But even if you're gonna, after that period of time, you feel good about it because now you have the skill, right? Because everyone had the tough time in the beginning. Yeah. Okay, so this is Grayscope, and I have a sample course to just demonstrate that when you submit your code, I can check your similarity between students. Okay. So this is just demo. And then different assignments. I'm going to click that programming assignment. So this is available only for the instructor. So I can just click the review similarity. Then it actually shows the similarity by percent. So if I just click that it's 90% similarity between Dale, Long, and Darling Pearson. Actually, this is Python language, but we're gonna have C programming, and then we're gonna compare its two submissions are similar or not. This gray shows that everyone has the same thing. So basically, they have some kind of template. So this is grayed out. In other words, it's not completed for similarity. But as you can see, the two students, they have 90% of similarity, and the next similar student only 14%. So meaning that there's some reason why these two students 90% similar, and the next student similar is only 14%. So something going on. So if I click this, you can see that the most of programs are matched.
Yeah. So they either have to copy each other, be doing the assignment in the same place, or just simply use the same AI source.
Exactly. Yeah. You have a question?
Is that exams gonna be like that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Is that exams gonna be like this?
Same like this? You mean when you submit your assignment?
In exams?
No.
Oh.
Exams are different, right?
Okay, gosh.
Is it like that?
So exams are, we have the answers, right? The kind of similar answers for correct answer, so don't worry. For exams, it will be on paper. We're gonna go over the part, but basically it will be on paper in person. It will be actually block exam, so we're gonna take the exam together with section 1 and section 2 on Saturdays. But basically, we don't check code similarity
Wait, so
because
we do have
it's
exams?
in their writing on paper.
Wait,
Yes?
so we do have exams on Saturdays?
Yes, we will actually go through that schedule, but the dates are already set.
But is it gonna be here or somewhere else?
Somewhere else. So we do not know the classroom yet, but we're gonna get the larger room for section 1 and 2 to combine. So probably if you already took the exam, but actually programming concepts is depending on the semester. I think some of you
Yep.
took the exam all together.
Hey, there's
or
nothing.
they
I even have a
separated
final
in
exam on a
different
Sunday.
rooms. But basically, for midterm 1 and midterm 2, we're gonna take the exam in different classroom, not this room. Yes?
Are they gonna be mostly like multiple choice or a mix of like writing and multiple choice?
Right. So we're gonna have some simple answer, like questions, and then we'll have some like a few more lines of code that you have to write. Like that, and then I'm sorry. Basically, we'll make that practice before the exam available, so you can just practice. Also, you can generate similar questions as well, so you can study more if you need more practice. Okay. Yep. Great questions.
Wait, would the exam be at the same time as 9:30 or after?
I have another question.
Yep.
When it comes to the study material, like
Mhm.
the exams and stuff,
Yep.
is it mostly gonna be content that we saw in class, or there's gonna be things that we haven't seen in class but they're in the book?
So mostly it will be, we should be covered in class, or at least I provide you with some kind of practice. Because it's not exactly like one-on-one match, but it should be very similar. What we cover in class should be on the exam. Yes. Yes?
So what's your opinion on a student copying a piece of code into AI and saying, why is this error happening?
Oh, so that's a really interesting question. You're saying that when you get answer from AI, and then you're copying that into your program, is that the question?
The other way around. I
Right.
wrote a program, there's an
Yeah.
error in it, so I copied it to AI and said, why is this error coming from?
Oh yeah. So you have a, so yeah, that is fine. So you start. That's a really good point. You start with your own code, correct? So
Yes.
then it's not copy, right? Because that will be different from other students. If it's your own code and you just want to know what's wrong, right? So you can ask that. You can use any tool for that. But when you get the answer, try to just not look at it. Look at the answer and then try to type it. Rather just you got the answer, understanding, and then when you're writing, try to write yourself. Yeah.
So pretty much, don't look at what the AI will basically, just look at it will give you, but rather the explanation of what and how it could be better.
Correct. Yes. And I understand that if it's a short program, the program can be similar. So again, we had the example that grayed out. If all the students have the same answer for that part, well, I'm not going to count that as similarity or similar. I will only count when it's somehow these two students are strangely same. Then I say that this is, copy or something going on. But if everyone in the classroom has similar answer, then maybe that's the answer. Yes.
Is there a certain percentage that we should kind of like be worried about when it comes to like the students having kind of like similar
Right, kind of a cutoff or threshold, we're saying. But don't worry about it. For now, as long as you work on your problem by yourself, you try to work on it and not just copy paste, and that should be a problem. And there's no cutoff exactly or threshold. There is no threshold. We just want you to learn, and then it should be different in some ways. But I'm not gonna pinpoint this why this is like this. As long as I know that this is not a copy and paste, it shouldn't be a problem. Yes? Oh yeah, multiple submissions allowed. So as long as it's before the deadline, you can just submit that multiple times. Okay? Yes?
So in terms of grading, is there any partial mark? Like you're gonna be if I don't have the whole thing right?
Right.
So
For projects, you're gonna have auto grader. So if some parts are correct, you're gonna get partial credits for those test cases, and then if you fail some test cases, then you're gonna get deduction for that. For exams, there is partial credits, definitely. So even if your answer is not perfectly correct, if it makes sense, we're gonna give you partial credit. Yep. Any other questions? Yes?
when it comes to those kind of test questions where we have to write the code, can sometimes have moments where we write very similar code, and by that I mean not the exact answer, but rather something similar that will equal the same outcome. Would that be also acceptable?
Yeah, it's totally acceptable. Yep. So yeah, we understand that there are many different solutions, so don't worry about it. That it should be fine. Yeah.
And when it comes to like submitting like questions, you mentioned that sometimes there's auto-grade. When it comes to like the grading questions where we write the code and stuff, are those gonna probably be like sometimes shown as 0 and then edited out after you check through them through the answers? Or
Are you talking about the grade school or exam?
basically exams.
Exams.
So when we submit like grading answers for some of the questions, those are gonna appear as zeros until you basically check them and then change that grade.
I think that those are probably you cannot see the grades right away, I think, and then we're gonna, after the TAs finish grading, will be available, published to everybody.
Okay, so it's not gonna grade it on the spot, it's gonna take
Right. For the, for the exams.
Got it. And for the assignments, it's mostly just gonna be automatic.
Correct. For projects, you can, when you submit your program, you're gonna see auto grader part, and then there's some part that the TAs have to, the manually grade, those things that you're gonna see later, but basically you can see your auto grading part right away. Yeah.
When it comes to those, let's say that I submit the assignment or project, and it gets me the auto grade. Does it give me the auto grade as soon as I send it, or does it give it to me like after the deadline? Because
Oh yeah, so for auto grader, you can maybe, we're gonna run it, the grade school will run your program, so it will take maybe, you wait for like 1 minute or so, and then you're gonna get the auto grader grade right away.
and can we resubmit the assignment even though we got the grade, or is this like a one-time thing?
Yeah, you can submit as many times as you need. So basically, we're gonna show you what's the perfect score, like usually like 80%. So you say 80%, then you know that it's, you passed all the test cases. Okay, and then the another thing is attending classes is very important for success in this course. So regular attendance is not required except for the first day today, and then all exams. However, I strongly encourage you to attend class and peer leading sessions. So last semester, we compared the students with high attendance and then students with low attendance, and their average were about 10 points different. So meaning that your letter grade is different, right? By just attending classes and peer leading sessions will really help you to be successful in this course. And please plan to spend about 5 to 10 hours each week outside of class, reviewing materials, and then exercises and projects. So remember that programming is a skill, so meaning that you need to practice, right? So more you practice, better you get. So make sure that you put enough hours into programming.
One
Yes?
more thing regarding the peer leading sessions. Are they gonna be like us getting a link to like maybe a Microsoft meeting, or
Yep.
is there gonna be like a link already in Canvas modules
Yep.
to attend it?
Yep, now it's actually, that's a good grade. So I can just go back to our Canvas, and then in the module, right, we have peer leading virtual sessions, schedule and links. So Lucas, his link is available here. And again, Tuesday today, 4 p.m., he has that first session. And then Friday, he has another session. So this week, we have 2 sessions. And then from week 2, we're going to have 4 sessions because Ariat will put his schedule. So basically, we're going to have 4 different sessions. And again, those peer leading session attendance is not managed by me, it's by peer leaders. So if you have specific questions, it's good to ask them in their session. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Good. Okay, that's all good questions. Yeah, today is basically that. So I'm gonna go to syllabus. So I'm gonna update the syllabus in simple syllabus. So you can just click it and then you can download it or view it. For now, I just download it here. So I'll go through that. So my office hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11:30 to 12:30. My office is located in ENG. Not ENB, ENG. Yes, you have a question?
Yes, I know you mentioned that we were going to be covering only C in this course and that there was going to be like a big learning curve. Are we expected to on our own just go and get familiar with that, or are we going to do like stuff in class in case like just practice if you haven't used it before?
Right. So I'm going to go through that a little bit later in the slide, basically how we're going to organize the class. But basically the idea is that we're going to go through the lecture through the lecture time, and then at the end, we're gonna have in-class exercises. So those program exercises, me and one TA, will be Christina or Jawad. One of them will be here to help you. If you have any questions, we'll walk around and then you can program practice.
Okay, sorry, just to be a little bit more specific, I was asking, is knowing C like a prerequisite for this course?
Right. Oh, okay. So that's it will be good to know C, but that's not prerequisite. It's not required. So our assumption is that you already have a programming experience previously. So not necessarily C, but probably like Python or Java, some other language. And now you are just using that knowledge into C language. So no expectation. Do you have any question? Yeah. So that's that. And then thank you for asking. So I know that some students are a little bit worried, right? But don't worry. So we're gonna go through that. But you already went through one programming class or one or two more, right? So you'll be fine. Yes?
I had previous experience in C#, but that translated over to C.
Yes, they will be helpful. They will be very helpful. C# is basically from C, and then C++, C#, those are all related. So yeah, that will be very, very helpful as well. Yeah. And then there are actually pre-tests already available on Canvas. So if you go through that pre-test and see how you go, how you know, that is good exercise too. Okay, and then I talked about the textbook, okay? And then we have two TAs, I talked about Christina and Jawad, and then let's go to grading scale. So we have A, B, C, D, and F, no pluses and minuses, and then the scores will not be rounded. Then this one is actually this, yeah. The final grade breakdown, we have projects are worth 24%, QEP module is 1%, midterm 1, midterm 2, both are 20%, final exam 35%. So as you can see, exams are very important. Exams are in person and on paper. Also, we have 3 extra credits for attending peer leading sessions.
What's attending peer session?
The peer leading sessions, so basically that we have 2 peer leaders, that is Lucas and Ariet, and then it's available online. So the link is already there. Yes?
Together, extra credit, we gotta every.
Right, so that's a really good question. I think that peer leaders will answer that better than me, but basically, my understanding is you don't have to attend the whole peer leading sessions, you just need to attend 25 sessions to get the full credit. But again, those are good questions for peer leaders, okay? Yes?
Are they only online, or we can?
Yes, they're only online, and then section 1 and section 2 students, they can both attend that. So you can go any 4 of these peer leaders leading sessions.
It's in Canvas, right?
Information is on Canvas right now. Lucas posted his information, and also he made an announcement yesterday.
Gotcha. Oh, what's that? What?
Okay.
Files.
I will post your grade on Canvas, and then you have 1 week. If after your grade, if you have a question, please contact that during the 1 period of time to your grading TA. And then if you still have questions after talking to the grading TA, you can contact me. But after 7 days, your grade basically become final for the remainder of the semester. And I talked, this is the schedule for this semester. So the exam dates are set. Again, this is because we have block exam, section 1 and section 2 take the exam together. So we cannot change the date. But these dates are set. For midterm 1 will be on October 3rd. And then the time is already set. The location will be announced later. And then midterm 2 is on November 7th. And then final exam, December 5th. That's also, again, on Saturday. Any questions? Yes? I have to go back, but I feel like I don't think that's the Sunday is the due date, but I need to go back. When we announce or publish project one, I will have better idea. Thank you for the question. Any question? Yes?
All the exams start at 10 a.m., right?
Yes, it seems like, yeah, we said it's 10 a.m., 10 a.m. Yep, that is 10 a.m. Yep. And then late assignment. Let's go to late assignment. Yeah, late work. Late assignments will not be accepted, so make sure that you start your assignment early. Because we don't accept any late assignments, the lowest assignment grade will automatically be dropped in Canvas. So because we are planning to have 10 projects, so one of them basically automatically dropped from Canvas. There will be no makeups for exams unless prior arrangements are made with the instructor or documented medical reasons. Okay? And then the last one, I want to mention that, wait. Let's see.
Good question. When it comes
Yes.
to the final exam,
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that the final exam doesn't drop any test scores from before.
Correct. That's a good question because always there's a question at the end that will be the exam grades will be dropped. Unfortunately, we can't because midterm 1 and 2 both 20% and then final is at 35%. As you can see, it's very heavy. So we cannot drop any of the exam grades.
And not replace it either, correct?
Yeah, no replace.
No replace it.
Yeah, no replace. Correct. Yes. And then the last one about the course hero and check policy. Basically, you cannot use these websites because those are against USF academic integrity policy. Okay, so and then you can read the rest of the syllabus after class. So let's go back to the slide.
When it comes to course hero, is it kind of like a cheat website or where they give you like the answers to your quiz or?
Yeah, and then also we just don't want that available out there. So that's why that's all against the USF policy. Okay. So this is how our lecture usually works. We'll start with the main concept. So we're going to go through the slides. And then I'll show you some example using live coding. So I'm going to run the code on my machine. Or actually, in this case, we're going to use student cluster. And then we may have some multiple choice questions in class. And at the end of the class, we're going to have programming exercises. So you can work on it individually or within your friend or within your group. And then TA will be here and to help you if you have any questions. So basically you learn these programming concepts, but those are very useful for this class as well. Variables and expression, conditional statement, loops, arrays. Basically the syntax are different, but the way we use it are the same. So we're going to review them, but just a little bit faster pace. But basically, what you learned from the previous class will be very helpful. And then in week 1 module, we have a pre-test again, so you can just go check that, how you are prepared for this class. But again, our expectation is that you know everything. I want you to have the mindset that, this we're gonna learn, and this I need to pay attention. Okay, so in this course we'll learn how to compile and test and debug C programs, and we're gonna learn programming, like how to program functions and managing different data structures, including pointers and linked list. And then I'll post materials on Canvas. To access files, you can go to Files menu on Canvas. And also again, before exams, I'll post practice tests and answer keys on Canvas. So these are the resources will be available for you to practice in this course. And the last one, the exam questions will be closely related to what we cover in lectures, programming, exercises, and homework exercises, and projects. And then we're gonna provide you practice quizzes as well. And if you're repeating the course, there are several things you can do to succeed in this course. The first, I recommend that you're meeting with Success Coach to create a plan for your semester. And then also strongly recommend attending classes and peer leading sessions. Again, the difference, the average was like 10 points of the students with high attendance and the low attendance, which means the letter grade. And you can attend TA office hours and also peer tutor. And we also have student success TA as well. So use all these resources available for you so that we all have success this semester. Okay. So about student cluster, unfortunately, I expected that this is available by now. So the student cluster is a networked Linux environment. We will learn how to compile and test, debug C programs on the cluster. Unfortunately, the accounts are not ready yet. So hopefully they are ready by this week, and I'll let you know right away. Hopefully before next class, but I think if not, I'll contact them again. So we were gonna test we're gonna test the program on student cluster, which is the Linux environment. So let's briefly talk about Unix or /Linux, right? So previously Unix and now Linux are important because they are used everywhere in technology. Linux is popular because it is open source and known for being secure. For example, Mac OS is based on Unix but has a graphical interface, and it is used in many different systems from smartphones and large supercomputers. Unix was created by Ken Thompson and Dennis Rich. They also developed the C programming language to write the Unix OS. So before Unix was written in assembly language, but then they created this C language to write the operating system again. So Linux supports multiple users and can run multiple processes and threads at the same time. And that's one reason Linux works very well for servers and computing clusters. So Linux has two major components, that is kernel and command shell. There's a kernel and command shell. The kernel provides the core function of the system, such as multitasking, memory management, and file system management. And command shell allows user to interact with Linux by processing user commands. So when we interact, basically we're going to interact with the shell, and then the shell gets our command, and then we're going to do some work, some operation. So you can think like this. You give a command to the shell, and then shell communicates with the kernel, which is the OS, and then the kernel makes the computer hardware work. Again, the computer command shell takes your commands and translates them into action that kernel can perform. And so two common shells are bourne shell, which is sh, and then we have bourne again shell, which is bash. So to find out what shell you're using, you can put echo and then this $sign and shell. So also like Windows, Linux organizes files using a file system, and the structure like tree structure. So root, it starts with root, right? This one is the root one. We start from root, and then it has other directories and files, and these subdirectories also can contain other files and subdirectories. These are some popular text editors in Linux. We have Nano, Emacs, VI, or Vim. So for beginners, we recommend that you use Nano. So I'm going to start with Nano when we have the Student Cluster account, and then we're going to use Vim, VIM, to edit and create or write our program on Student Cluster. And actually, the reference card for Nano and VI are already posted on Canvas. You can just refer to that. So these are some of the applications that you will need next class. Again, hopefully we have Student Cluster ready by then. The first one is USF VPN. Okay, so you can actually download that. There is a page here. So you go to this page and download the VPN. You need that for accessing Student Cluster at home. Okay, you will need to install that. There is an instruction in that link. And then if you're using Windows, then you will install PuTTY for SSH. And then for WinSCP for secure transfer files. Okay, so if you're using a Windows machine, please download these applications. I believe that peer leaders also demonstrate, do a demo how to install them. But I want you to download and then install it. Those are all free. And after you download that applications, the host name for Student Cluster is sc.rc.usf.edu. Hopefully next class, I can show you how it's working. But for now, I will just show you that information. So your username is your USF NetID, and then you use the password as well. So this is a screenshot of PuTTY. Okay. And then this is WinSCP for uploading and downloading files. Okay. If you have a Mac, then you don't need to install PuTTY. You can just use Terminal app, and then you can also connect to Student Cluster using SSH command. And we actually just have that information that how you can create the button, and then you can start that secure shell as well. For downloading and uploading your files from Student Cluster to or on your computer, you may need the FileZilla for Mac users. And then we have backup IDs. I recommend that you have backup ID on your machine, just in case, like for example, we do not have Student Cluster account yet. So if you want to test your program, you can install this IDE. VS Code is the most common one, I think. So you can just install your machine and then copy, and then you can do that. So this is the action for this week. Submit the syllabus, please, and then install these applications, and then install the backup IDE. Actually, I put the instruction of how to install VS Code on Canvas as well, so you can refer to that. Let's see. Yeah, so we're going to start programming from second week. So bring your laptop for future classes, okay? And then that's it. I think you can just read the rest of it. I'll go back to first day attendance so that you can take that.